President. Well, very interesting to follow on from that contribution, because that reveals a lot about how the Liberals view housing, about what their fundamental beliefs are on housing. Whereas this side sees the fundamental purpose of housing being somewhere to build their life out of, to be able to go every day to a good job with fair pay and conditions, to be able to educate themselves, their family, get the training and the skills they need to continue to be a productive worker within our state, supporting our state's economy, to be able to get access to good quality healthcare via good quality infrastructure, connecting people with that, all within a sustainable local environment. This is the sort of holistic approach to housing that the Allan Labor government and Labor governments before it have taken to ensuring that people not only have access to homes, but have access to communities. And Mr Welsh wanted to try and boil all that down, talking about people living in dog boxes. Now, he may be wanting to refer to the 4 years those opposite last had in power, when there is no concern to quality, and I will come back to talk about the incredible lengths that this side is going to ensure quality and livability of homes for Victorians. And those opposite obviously have a fundamental disdain for people living in different ways, much like they do socially with people living in different ways. If Victorians don't live to the 1950s model of what the Liberal Party sees as the way Victorians should live their life, then they are fundamentally opposed to it. And we see that across a range of social issues in this state, and Victorians don't like it. And what we'll see out of the policies that members of the government have spoken to today, and I will go through as I make my contribution, is it's about ensuring there are housing options for all Victorians where they are at in their life, where they are at on their, depending on their age, their family situation, their needs. It's about ensuring all Victorians have access to good, quality, affordable housing. I'll come back to some other comments that we've heard from those opposite. But through this legislation, we'll see concessions for off-the-plan purchases of apartments, of townhouses and units, which will see Victorian home purchasers save tens of thousands of dollars. And as I said before, it's all a part of these many policies that the Allan Labor government is bringing to see more quality and affordable housing here in Victoria. The 50 new activity centres around our train and tram zones with our high-frequency trains. The fact that there has been investment in Metro, there has been investment in unlocking the capacity of our train network, in building those trains right here in Victoria for Victorians, ensuring that people can get jobs near these centres, that people can travel on these trains through the 50 new and upgraded train stations, whether people are on public transport or are in their cars, with the 84 level crossings that we've already seen removed. It's all part of ensuring people can live where they want to live, but have the networks and services to do so in a way that gives them the best quality of life possible. The upgrades to services, our schools and kinders, 70 upgrades near these activity centres to ensure that the entire family, everyone living in that home, can access what they need to where they want to. And I think nothing, well, I shouldn't say nothing more, Another example of the Liberal Party's disdain for people having a roof over their head was shown last sitting week in the short stay contribution debate. On the Mornington Peninsula, it has high levels of short stay accommodation and has become increasingly difficult for locals, particularly families, to be able to get a roof over their head affordably so they can stay within their communities. And the short stay levy, the 7.5 levy, has been put in place to ensure that we can have more money to flow in to social housing, new construction and maintenance. And Mr Welsh made a comment before that this government has wasted money investing in the $5 billion big build. And I'll come to the extra $1 billion for regional housing shortly. But again, it's another glimpse into the mentality of the Liberals, that money invested in social housing is seen as a waste. Money invested in social housing, ensuring that people have a roof over their heads, that families are safe, is critically important. An investment this side will always stand by and work to deliver more of. And the short stay levy is a way of helping to deliver that, but it's also a way of helping to free up more family homes. And we know that those opposite, what they said as the bill went through last week, is that they will repeal it. They don't want to see people in their homes because to them, that's not the way they view housing. It's a very, very different mentality on that side, acting president. So we have a number of other policies that are going to see more homes built and more Victorians in these homes, getting 2 homes onto 1 block, whether that's through our small second homes or the granny flats, and whether that's speeding up the time it takes for approvals to be able to subdivide and get a second home on, get more people living where they want to live. I touched on before the $5 billion of investment. We've got the Housing Minister here, the $1 billion of extra investment in regional social housing. I think it reflects the Liberals' lack of understanding of the depth of need of housing. The fact that we are doing work within inner Melbourne, in middle Melbourne and in the regions is that we're getting people across the whole broad into homes. We're going to have 10 years of greenfield sites coming online, the longest ever pipeline with 27 additional greenfields. And having this continuity, having this longevity is the word I'm after there, to give surety of investment. We'll see that pipeline come and we'll see families in homes. Because it's not about picking one or the other, as Mr Welsh was saying before. It's about ensuring that people can live where they want to live, affordably, but also in good quality homes. And we know that those opposite, what they did in their time, be lucky if many of them are left standing. Be lucky to see if many of them left standing from the quality build. And Acting President, having worked in construction for 10 years, I can tell you, you can tell what is of good quality build, what is sound investment, what will stand the test of time, and what is absolute garbage that is going to see high energy bills, is going to see low quality of life, is going to see people feeling the hot and the cold, and the people who, Victorians who need to be, not spending their income on electricity or other energy bills, if you just get that building right from the start. The government's working to unlock more land, whether that be along Vic Track, continuing in another of the many many policies to see more housing become available. And Minister Tierney has recently announced regional worker accommodation. This regional worker accommodation is seeing workers be able to get where they need to be, whether it's around health services, around regional Victoria, $150 million investment, making sure that that housing is available, where it's needed, when it's needed, and the knock-on effects of that are incredible. Because when you talk to people in local communities, and whether it's a variety of services, whether it's healthcare, whether it's childcare, whether it's aged care, ensuring that those workers are there to deliver the services that are required, the services needed, is critically important to regional communities. Because if you are living in a regional community and you don't have the workforces there, then you're in real trouble. And we know that those opposite, particularly under the Kennett era, ripped the guts out of regional communities from an infrastructure perspective. So we've put that infrastructure back in, but the worker accommodation has ensured that not only is the infrastructure there, but we've also got the workforce there, because there is nothing as crushing to think that there is not the workforce to be within that infrastructure to support the local community. And that's where the investment we're making in childcare and kinder, in primary and high school education, is so important. So we're ensuring that parents can be in the workforce and support the local community. I did want to touch on a motion I moved last week, and just note how the lead speaker on the other side, Mr Mulholland, has been sold out by his Liberal colleagues. After Mr Mulholland making some good contributions in the past, his party, there's been some good terms around here, I can't recall them off the top of my head, but we'll go to, the no-alition is, I think, one that we're all very familiar with. They don't want to get behind policies that will see more people getting homes. They want to use political partisanship to point score on so many policies that the Allan Labor government is bringing to Victorians to deliver more housing, more affordable quality housing. Each time they're just trying for their political partisanship to take a score on the way through. This won't work, that won't work, that's no good, this isn't any good. When at the end of the day, they'll probably support it, they'll let it go through. There'll be some things like short stay they'll want to come back and repeal if they get in. We know that they'll cut jobs, we know they'll cut services, we know that it will be non-stop cuts if the Liberals get into power again, and we know it's Victorians who will pay. Victorians through job losses, Victorians through loss of services, and indeed the work that this government is doing to create a pipeline of housing through policy after policy, taking a holistic approach to ensure that the variety of housing sizes, of needs, of connection to public transport, to road infrastructure, to local community parks, to services, to well-paid, good-conditioned jobs. Every one of these policies connects together. Every single one of these policies connects together. And while it's easy for those opposite to take pot shots, because they don't have the value base, to sit down, this is a word they won't comprehend, collectively to sit down and identify what it is they believe in and what it is they want to say to Victorian people that they will bring and offer, they are unable to do it. So it is this side that identifies need, identifies those values and bring the policies to deliver housing for Victorians. Thank you, Acting President.